So it is Friday morning and we're getting ready to leave the hostel here. We were at the Burke's Garden Hostel, which was really nice. Had a good time. And the nice thing was we only took a Nero, but we got so early yesterday, it was like almost taking a zero. So I think I always forget to tell people that if you're a Nero means is that you are walking into a shelter, you stay the night and you leave the next morning. So both days you have put in some miles. A zero is you walk into a hostel, the next day you don't go anywhere. So you don't do any miles. So that is a zero. So this was a Nero. So right now we're going to go be back up into those mountains back there today. And so we're going to try to go, I think 13 miles today. And our next hostel that we're going to be staying in is called the Woods Hole Hostel, which is a famous one. And that's about 55 miles north of here. So that is the goal. So we'll be doing some videos along the way. And again, thank you for watching. So here we go. We just left Burke's Garden Hostel. Awesome hostel. And if you're hiking the trail, please stay there. And if you're looking at the AWOL guide, it's incorrect. It says that they're 10 miles off the trail. They're not. They're only 3/4 of a mile off the trail. So very well worth the walk down. They drive you back up in the morning. Awesome hostel. So make sure you check it out. And heading north and more to come. You can see we're just walking along the high ridges today above the valley where we stayed. That was called Burke's Garden. And it's an interesting thing. The hostel owner was telling us that how it was formed was underneath this valley was all limestone, and at one point it just collapsed, and that's why this valley is just one giant bowl. There's actually one paved road out of it and one dirt road out of it, and that's it. And it's primarily Amish farms down in there, and then a few other people, like a total population like 277 or something like that. But extremely pretty area. One of the better hostels we've stayed at. But I just want to give a little bit of history as to what the Burke's Garden was, or is. We're coming up to our first break point today. It's a road called 623. And down there you can see a whole bunch of water jugs. This is kind of like what hikers are relying on right now, is the kindness of people leaving water at these major road crossings, so that we can, what we do is called camel up and fill up. So we're going to get here, drink a lot, at least a liter, and then fill back up so we can continue on. So we're getting there. So it's Saturday morning and about 2 miles into the journey today, and pretty view of the Virginia mountains. There they are. How pretty is that? It is humid today. Really, really humid. And a little bit of a breeze, but the clothes are just kind of soaking up all the moisture, so it's getting a little heavier as we go down the trail. But hopefully it'll dry out soon. So we're continuing on our 18-mile slack pack today. So what a slack pack is, we stayed at a hostel last night called the Weary Feet Hostel. And the reason we had to change our strategy a little bit. Water is definitely becoming a huge issue out here. There was this stretch coming up that we're on right now for 18 miles where there really wasn't any water. We found a little bit today, part way, just to carry us through the rest of the way. So what we did is we stayed at the Weary Foot Hostel last night. After breakfast, they drove us back to a starting point where they picked us up last night. And then we walked back here with our packs on. But the only thing in our pack is water, your rain gear, and a couple snacks. So you're not carrying a full 32-pound pack. You're carrying a pack that probably weighs about 10 pounds. So you can cover, you walk a little bit faster. It's easier to get up the hills. So that's what we're doing right now. We did a slack pack. So right now we've probably got about 5 more miles to go. We got to get down to a parking lot, and then there's another up. And once we get to the up, there's like a ridge that should lead us pretty much down to the hostel again. So it's been a good trip. Seen lots of bear tracks today. Heard bears in the woods, didn't actually see any bears. And to my disappointment, we saw 2 black snakes, which is not always on the top of my hit list, but they're harmless, but they still startle me. So more to come. We're on the top of a ridge, And this is just how it was up at Burke's garden and stuff. You just have all these rocks sticking out the very top of the ridge. It's really cool. Very pretty. But we're getting close to our little destination here. The guy told us once we get to the field, we got to look for the blue blaze marker. So that's the key part. That'll take us down to a trail. It'll take us down through the field, down to the road, and back to the hostel, to the end of our 18-mile day. So long day, but all good. So we made it back to our little hostel, Wary Feet Hostel. We just got to walk up this little hill, and then there's going to be a nice shower, and more importantly, cold soda. And tonight they said they're going to make us some homemade spaghetti with meat sauce with beef for the cows that they raise here. So very cool.